The first thing that grabbed me was the sound of laughter. Not joyful laughter, sharp, mocking, the kind that slices through your chest before you can breathe. I didn't mean to play the video. It had popped up in the shared drive we all used for family photos. The thumbnail showed my mother and aunt, wine glasses raised, sitting on the couch I'd bought them. The one I paid for after they lost their jobs. My aunt's voice came first, high and cruel. "She should be grateful," she said between snorts. Without us, she'd still be living in that dump. Then my mother's voice, familiar, slurred with whine and contempt. "Pathetic failure," she muttered. "She only acts generous because she wants attention." I froze. My mother was talking about me. They were sitting in the living room of the apartment I rented for them. The one I paid every bill for, electricity, groceries, even their cable. I'd sent that money every month without hesitation, telling myself family meant support. But in that moment, hearing their laughter echo around the walls I'd built for them, I realized something I never wanted to believe. They didn't love me. They loved what I could give. When I was growing up, my mother used to say money didn't buy love. I believed her. She'd tell stories about how family was all we needed, how loyalty mattered more than success. Then I became the only one in the family with a stable job. I covered her rent when she lost the house, paid for my aunt's surgery, and helped my cousin through college. Every thank you from them felt like proof I was doing the right thing. But slowly, gratitude turned into expectation. If I hesitated before saying yes, they'd guilt-trip me. "You're doing so well, Maya," my mother would sigh. "Don't forget who helped you when you were nothing." They had helped when I was a teenager. They'd taken me in after Dad left. But I was 32 now, living in a small apartment, working late nights to stay afloat. Still, I kept paying. Because I was scared that if I stopped, I'd lose them completely. That video destroyed that illusion. At first, I thought maybe I'd misheard. But then my cousin appeared on screen, waving one of the luxury handbags I'd bought my mom last Christmas. "She acts like she's a saint," he laughed. "All that money and no man. I guess she's married to her job." My mother giggled, nearly spilling her wine. "Please, she likes being a victim. It makes her feel important." I closed the laptop. My hands were shaking. I sat there for a long time, trying to make sense of it. The people I had sacrificed for, people I'd cried over, defended, and forgiven, were mocking me in the home I paid for. Part of me wanted to call them immediately, scream, demand an apology. But instead, I sat in silence, because anger passes, but humiliation lingers. The next morning, I went to work like nothing had happened. But everything felt different. I saw my coworkers chatting over coffee, laughing, sharing stories about family dinners, and all I could think was how mine would laugh at me behind closed doors. For the first time, I didn't send the monthly transfer. No explanation, no warning. I just didn't pay. That week, I got 3 calls from my mother. Then 5, then 12. Finally, she left a voicemail. "Maya, sweetheart, I think there's a problem with the rent. The landlord says he hasn't received payment." I stared at my phone. For years, I'd dropped everything when she called. But this time, I didn't. 2 days later, my aunt messaged me. "Hey, your mom's freaking out. Can you send the money already?" "No, please. No, thank you. Just assumption." I typed back, "I can't keep helping. I need to focus on myself." Her reply came instantly. "Wow, after everything we've done for you? Don't forget who raised you." That's when it clicked. Love had become a transaction, so I went silent. Blocked their numbers. For the first time in years, my phone was quiet. At first, the quiet felt wrong. I'd built my life around their crises. The sudden stillness felt like guilt. But then guilt started to feel like peace. A week later, I got an email from my mother. "You've embarrassed me. The landlord came to the house. Your aunt was there. Everyone knows you stopped paying. You're making us look bad, not we can't pay rent. Not we're sorry. Just you made us look bad." That was when something inside me hardened. I replied, "You're adults. If you want independence, live it. I'm done being your wallet. Then I hit send and felt something unshackle inside me. For weeks, I heard nothing. No calls, no texts. Then one evening, my cousin posted on social media, "Some people forget who helped them rise, but karma doesn't." A photo of my mother crying accompanied the caption. I didn't comment. I didn't explain. Because you can't defend yourself to people who need you to be the villain. 3 months later, my mom reached out again. Her tone was different, softer. "Maya," she said over the phone, "I just want to talk. I miss you." I hesitated, then agreed to meet at a cafe. She looked smaller somehow. Tired. The confident arrogance I remembered was gone. We sat in silence before she spoke. "You really hurt me," she began. "We depended on you." "I know," I said quietly. "That's the problem," her eyes flashed. "You think you're better than us now?" "No," I said. "I just realized love shouldn't have a price tag." For a moment, she looked like she might cry. But then she sighed and said, "I guess I raised you too well." It was meant as a jab, but it sounded like surrender. After that day, contact faded naturally. No explosions, no drama, just distance. Sometimes I missed them. Not who they were, but who I wanted them to be. I still remembered birthdays, but I didn't send money. I sent cards instead, simple, clean boundaries. Slowly, I rebuilt my life. I decorated my own apartment, my walls, my furniture, my peace. The silence that once felt like loneliness began to feel like freedom. Then one afternoon, 6 months later, my aunt called from an unknown number. "Maya, please," she said breathlessly. "Your mother's being evicted. Can you help just for this month?" Her voice trembled. For a split second, guilt tried to crawl back in. But I remembered that video, their laughter, their mockery. I took a deep breath. "I can't," I said softly. "I warned you months ago," she gasped. "You're heartless." "No," I said. "Just finally done being used." Then I hung up. That night, I rewatched the old video one last time. Not because I enjoyed it, but because I wanted to remember what blind generosity had cost me. They laughed while spending my money. Called me a pathetic failure. Now they could learn what independence really meant. The next morning, I deleted the file. For good. Sometimes people ask me if I regret cutting them off. The truth? No, I regret waiting so long. Family should lift you, not drain you. Love isn't measured by the bills you pay. It's measured by the respect you get when the money stops. Now, when I pass my reflection in the mirror, I barely recognize the woman I used to be. Back then, I was desperate for approval, clinging to affection that had strings attached. Today, I'm calm, focused, cold maybe. But cold is clean. Cold remembers, and for the first time in my life, I'm not ashamed to say it. I finally chose myself. Betrayal changes people. Sometimes it just makes them stronger. Subscribe for more powerful Reddit revenge stories.